How to raise your credit score by 200 points. I'm going to give you 3 simple things you can do yourself to raise your credit score 200 points in just a few weeks. And I'll start by covering the easiest ones that you can get done today. Now, these tricks don't require you to hire a credit repair company. These are credit hacks I've been using myself for a long time. And I'll try and explain them in a way so you can do them for yourself. Probably like you, I didn't used to have the best personal credit. In my early 20s, I had a credit score that hovered in the low 600s, but I've since been able to improve that to a score that's now over 800. I've learned a few tricks over the last 20 years that's really helped me keep my credit score consistently high, so that's what I'll be sharing with you today. I'll also be including all the steps and links you'll need in the description. And as always, I'm sharing all this with you for free, so please smash that like button. Clicking the like button is free, just like this video is free, and it helps this video reach other people who need it. Okay, to get started, by now you're probably familiar with the fact that there are 3 credit bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And each one tends to have slightly different information on you. So before you actually try and get your credit scores, I suggest you download free copies of your personal credit reports, and you can do this by going to annualcreditreport.com. At this website, you'll be able to bring up each of your 3 credit reports and download them. Now remember to download each of your credit reports when they come up on the site, because the website doesn't keep a record of your credit reports for you. What I like about the site is they make viewing your credit report super easy. I've looked at my credit reports at the credit bureau websites, and I personally think a couple of them make viewing your credit reports really difficult. Not only are the credit bureau websites difficult to navigate, but once you have your credit report, trying to find late payments or other things that you need to repair are not straightforward, in my opinion. So just use annualcreditreport.com and download each of your credit reports. With those reports, you'll be able to see exactly what's affecting your credit score. I know I've mentioned annualcreditreport.com a couple times in different videos. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like that they provide a decent free service for you guys. Now, you can also check your credit score at a couple places for free. CreditKarma will give you 2 of your credit scores from TransUnion and Equifax for free. This really should be enough for you to start the process of fixing your credit. If you really want a complete and super accurate score, you can spend a little bit of money at myfico.com. Really, you don't need to know the exact credit number a lender is going to see. So in my opinion, CreditKarma is good enough for most situations. Just be aware that yes, CreditKarma does give your credit score for free, but they use that free service as an opportunity to collect your personal data to send you personalized offers from other companies. They aren't selling your information though, so personally I'm comfortable enough with that. Okay, so let's talk about the first trick on improving your credit score that you can do today. This one may seem obvious, but it has more of an impact than you probably think. And that's to pay off the balance on all of your credit cards. How much of a balance you keep on your credit cards in relation to your credit limit has a huge impact on your credit score. And this ratio of credit card balance to your credit limit is also called your utilization rate. Did you know that credit utilization rate makes up as much as 30% of your credit score? Let that sink in. 30% of your credit score has to do with how much of a balance you keep on your existing credit card. Now, even if you pay off your credit card every month, sometimes these credit card companies have a weird date in the middle of the month where they check your utilization rate when reporting to the credit bureaus. It's important to call up your credit card company and find out what day that is. That way, you can schedule paying off your credit card a little before the specific day of each month. The other thing you can do is pay off your credit card a couple times a month to make sure the utilization rate is always low. Now, I know that paying off your credit cards may be a bit of a pain right now depending on what you owe, but if you're trying to get a mortgage, making sure you have as good of a score as possible for at least a couple of months could save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing you can do to improve your credit that can be done today, and that's to get a new credit card with a high balance. I've made a video about what credit cards are the best for building your credit that you can check out in the description. Getting a new credit card serves again to lower your credit utilization rate. Just be aware that when you do apply for a new credit card, they will do a hard inquiry, which may also cause your credit score to drop a couple points temporarily. but the benefits of an improved utilization rate are often worth it. Okay, so let's move on to a couple tricks affecting the most important factor influencing your credit score, and that's on-time payments. Now, it's not uncommon for people to have some late payments on their credit report. Even people who consistently live within their means will often have a few late payments on their history. But it is important to know that your payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. So you can see if you have a good utilization rate and a good payment history, you can easily boost your credit score up around 200 points. Now, late payment history, unfortunately, isn't as easy to fix as your utilization rate. For your utilization rate, you just pay on your credit card and bam, within a couple of weeks, you'll see the impact on your score. Late payment history may take a little finesse. Obviously, the more on-time payment history you have, the easier it is to get creditors to remove the old late payment history. But even if you have a lot of late payments and some of your accounts are currently overdue, I'd still suggest trying some of these methods. So another reason to sign up for CreditKarma is you can use CreditKarma to dispute late payments on your credit report. And if you prefer to do your disputes online, I'd suggest using CreditKarma over using the websites of the credit bureaus, because the credit bureaus now have language in their terms of service where you give up your rights to sue them. I personally think that's a bit shady by the credit bureaus, so I just try and avoid using their websites as much as possible. So when you dispute something in CreditKarma, you'll need to give the reason for the dispute. And this reason can often make or break the success of your removal request. And I personally have had some really good success with clicking on the box next to "The creditor agreed to change account information." And then I'll generally include a note in the additional comments that says, "When I called a representative, kindly agreed to have this late payment removed from my account, now that it has been paid in full, and I have since been on time with all recent payments." Another thing you can try is to click on the box next to the phrase, "Other, provide details and additional comments" field below. And then you can write in, "I have never made a late payment and the terms are incorrect." That's kind of the quick and dirty method of trying to clean up late payments. I've made an extensive video on the more sure way to remove late payments. I'll link to it in the description below. With the method I share in that video, I go into freezing your personal data at a bunch of third-party companies and sending in letters by certified mail to the credit bureaus. Most people don't want to go through all that trouble, and it can take quite a bit longer, but it is more effective. Okay, so now that we've talked about your utilization rate, which makes up 30% of your credit score, and your payment history, which makes up 35% of your score, let's talk about the next most important factor, which is length of your credit history. How long you've held your oldest credit account makes up 15% of your credit score. And you're probably wondering how in the world you can add years worth of credit history within a few weeks. Well, there is a way, and that's to become an authorized user on someone else's credit card. If you have a family member or friend who has held a credit card for, say, 10 years, you can become an authorized user on that card and get all the credit score benefits associated with it. Now, obviously, you only want to be associated with a card that is old and has good payment history, because the bad payment history would follow you to your account as well. Now, the beauty of this, when you're added to someone else's credit card as an authorized user, you don't ever have to be given access to the credit card. So the owner of the card knows you can't use it to make purchases. Help them understand that you're the one taking on the risk, because your score will rely on them making the credit card payments on time, and they avoid all risk by you not having access to the credit card. Pretty cool that you can add 10 years or more of credit history to your credit report in just a few weeks if you can find a family member willing to help you out. Obviously, there are other things you can do to improve your credit, but if you focus on fixing those three main categories, you should be able to increase your credit score by 200 points. I tried to include some of the easiest methods in this video because the easier something is, the more likely you're going to take action. And that's really what I want. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, but I do actually like hearing from you when these credit tricks work. I show my wife the comments when someone used one of these methods to fix their credit and it went up 40 to 50 points. That's exciting for me to hear that I'm actually helping you guys in some way. But probably the biggest secret to all of this is just try stuff with repairing your own credit. I learned to fix my own credit score literally by experimenting. Nobody coached me on it. I just went in and started disputing late payments for whatever reason I could. You can't break your credit score if you do a dispute and get denied, so don't let that keep you from taking action. Go ahead and smash that like button. Hitting that like button is free, just like this video is free. If you haven't yet, become an OG and click subscribe. We want you as part of the family, and you guys have a great day.